Hey guys, Melvin here, and it has been a sucky month for Unexplained and in my personal life, so there was some neglect going on. But we did record a podcast, and we actually live recorded it on Facebook. This was to celebrate getting 500 likes, follows, and people submitted questions, everything. It was a lot of fun, really. So, because things have just been so hectic and me basically being lazy at this point, this is the show from our Facebook special, unedited. Yep, I didn't even bother editing, it's just getting uploaded. And on the 31st, in case you missed it, will be going up, but probably not going to be the best one. So thank you for watching. And yeah, this was just an off month. However, in August, I promise we will make it up to you. August is going to be a darn good month. So thank you guys for watching, listening, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff, and we'll be seeing you next time. Here we go. OBS back open. All right, we're going live in. Oh, as soon as this connects, there we go. We're going live in three, two, one. Add a title. God darn it. All right, let's add a title. Jeez, it. Um, S-P-E. Good lord, I forgot how to spell special. How do you spell S-P-E-C? Oh my god, I can't remember how to spell special. S-P. Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Special.
All right, now we're going live in three, two, one. Or not. Any time now. Thank you. Okay, now we're live. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to a special Unexplained Possibilities podcast. I'm your host, Melvin the Crimson Taurus, and joining me is my co host, the dealer of mystic goods, the third eyed mystic herself, and the happiest of sad girls, the ever so lovely Neima.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for all the many titles.
Oh, well, thank yourself. You're the one who came up with them. So, Neema, can you tell these fine folks why this show is special?
We are celebrating because we hit 500 likes and follows on Facebook.
Woo woo!
Yup.
So, which is pretty freaking cool. Wasn't expecting that. I'm happy we hit it. It's awesome. So, to semi celebrate, I decided to have a type of Q&A thing and well, just hang out and yap about nothing or everything or some things. I don't know yet. We'll see where it goes. Now, here's something that's a little different too. Niema has come up with some questions for me. I have some for her. We have some submitted questions, and it's going to be all over the place. But yeah, Niema is going to semi interview me, which has never happened to me on Unexplained before. I don't think anyone has ever truly asked me anything. So, you know,
Yeah, you're usually the one who asks all the questions.
Niema, we're going to get started with the first question you have for me. And I think, yeah, no, no, I think. Let's hear it. What do you got?
Okay. Well, I would say our first question, just because we're celebrating 500 likes
Mhm.
and how far we've gotten. So, from the time you decided to start Unexplained Possibilities, I kind of want to hear what made you decide on it and say, hey, I'm going to start this podcast. It's going to be about paranormal experiences.
Okay, well, that is a complicated one to um, to answer because technically I did not start it. I mean, I started it, but I did not start it. So, Unexplained Possibilities is not my it's not my original child. I guess you could say I adopted it. um, it was actually Rose who came up with the idea, and
Oh, I forgot about Rose. Poor Rose.
yeah, that's okay. She's asleep right now anyway. Freaking Ozzy. Um, so this actually goes back probably 10 years now, maybe a little over 10 years, but it was another show on YouTube called Alien Addictions, and I've mentioned that several times, and a good friend of mine, AP, ran it. And oh gosh, I don't know how to mute. I'm getting Facebook messages.
Oh no.
Yeah, that doo doo is gonna come through. Um, anyway, yeah, my good friend, hi Angie, my good friend AP ran it, Alien Photog, and he did his thing. He would talk about aliens and whatnot. And that's where I met Rose from his website. We hit it off. And even though Alien Addictions ended maybe a year to 2 years after Rose and I met, Rose wanted to do something. And she was like, okay, Mel, we gotta do something. We should have our own type of show or something like that. And I was like, no, because I just didn't want to. Like, I didn't feel like it, and she kept bugging me and bugging me. She bugged me mm, for a long time until I finally said, okay. So the problem is the reason why I said no is because, and I love you, Rose, but I knew that somehow I would end up doing 90% of everything.
Oh my goodness.
And it turns out I was correct. Call me Melstradamus. And and I knew she probably wouldn't be able to do it long term like I would because, she has a life. I don't. But, that happened. But yeah, Unexplained came from Rose, and originally it was going to exclusively be about aliens, but I talked her out of that because of what happened with Alien Addictions, and AP, he got caught in that format where he can only speak about aliens, and he wasn't able to branch out the way he wanted to. And this is now where I take credit for this because I didn't want a name like Alien Addictions. It's just too specific, and you get caught, So the name Unexplained Possibilities, of course, I always take credit for it, came from me, and it's that way to always have an area to speak about. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the paranormal or supernatural, because as you know, um, we spoke about cops. Every now and then, I might get political. We'll speak about the more psychological part of the field, etc., etc. And
Mhm.
and so I wanted that diversity with the name, and thus Unexplained Possibilities came forth. Now, wow, really? Someone's gonna start that big V8 truck up? Okay, no, no, that's a
Thought it was
V,
all
that's a
at first.
V10. Excuse me. Yeah, that's that Viper truck. Thank you. Anyway, so let me get to the point here. I'm sorry, I'm long-winded. Oh, hello, Ed. We're not live on YouTube at the moment, but usually that's where we do our live shows. But as of right now, since it's a special, we're doing it on Facebook. And if you have any questions for us, go ahead, ask away, and we'll do our best to answer and celebrate with us. So thank you, Angie and Ed, for being here. Appreciate it. What was I saying, Neema?
Gosh, you trailed off quite a bit.
Yeah, I did. Huh. Oh, anyway, now I remember. So yeah, the name, it had to be there where you can have diverse topics and not just a single thing, and and thus here we are now. I'm actually thinking about it, and honestly, I really didn't think I would do Unexplained Possibilities for this long. I wasn't thinking that I would actually enjoy it the way I have, because that first episode, first few are terrible. So, but yeah, it's 100% Rose's idea. I just took over. Well, she threw it on me. So, hope that answers.
Thank you, Rose.
Yeah, Rose gets credit. So she, even though I do all the work, but still she gets credit. Okay, so question for you, Neema.
Okay.
Because originally you came on as a guest, and then
Yeah.
I asked you to host with me. So what did you think when you were a guest on the show the first time? Because like this was before we went live, and I think the first show, I have that recording somewhere too, was like 2 hours long, and I had to edit it down. But what was your thoughts going through that?
I mean, of course, I was very surprised. Like, um, just surprised that you contacted me and had interest in what I had to say. Um, and that was a great episode. I feel like I really like. I think I've listened to it once or twice, like reminiscing.
Hmm.
I'm like, that was a really good episode. I enjoyed who I was in that spot. Um, and then when you asked me, I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is right up my alley and what I wanted to do in the future. So I just thought, oh, this is a great segue into my own podcast or the subject matter. So, yeah.
Okay, and this actually leads to another question, and this is, oh my gosh, I just had a brain fart. Wow.
Okay, hold that thought. I gotta
What?
get up real quick.
Okay, well, then, yeah, can you tell this is our first show again? Good Lord. Try a new platform, and everything just goes out of order. But it's okay. Everyone's first show sucks, even though this is like, I think, the 77th episode of this, but we're not on YouTube, we're on Facebook. Therefore, it can suck. We can get away with it. All right, Neema, you back yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the question from one of the listeners.
Okay.
All right. What is the scariest podcast episode you've done?
What's the scariest one?
Yes. Now that might be hard for you to
No,
answer.
I know. I don't think it was a podcast. I think it was when you wanted me to do voiceover,
Hmm.
and I forgot what the subject matter was, but I just had nightmares.
Oh shoot.
um, it was like, oh man, something the strangest. Uh, I don't know. It was that one and Black Eyed Kids. When we talk about that,
Yeah.
that's you know what? That's the one, and I think that was a podcast. So yeah.
Okay, so the Black Eyed Kids episode, and every now and then on Facebook, Angie will tag you in something Black Eyed Kids
Really?
related on Instagram or Facebook when she finds something, just to freak you out.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I had a real hard time with that one.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, I mean, you're fine. I want to know one of your own paranormal experiences.
Oh, um, okay. So this is very weird, and this is actually a question someone asked as well. What our paranormal supernatural experiences were. Um, so this is hard for me to answer, and the reason being is because I don't really classify my experiences as experiences because it's usually, or rather, it comes from someone else and I just happen to be there. So, that I know of, I have not been taken by aliens. I I have not, my house is not haunted. I'm not psychic, so I don't, get visions and all of that. But I will share this without saying names that I have felt different beings. And it was the most bizarre thing. So, yeah, I guess you could count this as an experience. It was last year or year before last, one of those. And um, someone was going through some stuff, and I'll just say they're in the occult, but oh boy, did they have things pop up and everything. And I felt demonic energy, so to speak. And it doesn't feel exactly like I thought it would have felt.
Hmm.
And, it's going to sound crazy, but I felt the energy of King Paimon and how, mind you, this was like 1, 2 a.m. And all of a sudden I hear freaking drumming like coming from outside and everything, like at a sporting event, which is weird. It's like, what? At 1, 2 a.m.? Okay. And then I heard like bangs, like people were popping off fireworks, which that's nothing new, but at the time it should not have happened. And his energy was heavy. I felt Lilith's energy. Yes, Adam's first wife, Lilith. I felt her energy very, very ancient, and I don't even know. Like, it's snake like. Let's see. It was another energy. Oh, uh, this one was trippy because Beelzebub showed up, which again, I know sounds crazy, but all of a sudden I see a bug come out of nowhere and it just starts crawling. And I don't know what type of bug it was. I don't know where it disappeared to. But on the other end, though, the person who I was speaking with, they saw flies just randomly show up out of
Wow.
nowhere. And while we were speaking, like the phone started to click and everything. So it was weird, man. It was weird. So I yeah, that's an experience. Even though it wasn't directly to me, it was indirectly and it was from someone else, but that happened.
Yeah, I think it counts if you can actually feel the presence or like the energy that you're
Okay,
talking.
so we'll go with that then. What about you?
I mean, where do I start? I feel like I've had so many. So, but I would say the most one that kind of freaks me out and like has stuck out in the past couple of years is maybe like 3 years ago. I woke up and there was just this older gentleman like sitting on the side of my bed, and he had like the meanest look in his face, and it really freaked me out. And I was like yelling for someone in the house to, like, are you guys seeing this? And nope, no one was there. So yeah.
Okay, that is a little freaky. So after that, did any more experiences happen, or did you just shut yourself off to that? Like, nope, not going there.
Um, no, I think all throughout my life, like I've had, you know, some stuff happen like that, but it really just I guess I don't like allow myself to be open to where I'm like, hey, everybody come in, say hi, like show yourself to me, you know? But I definitely do have experiences like clairaudience and whatnot. So
Okay. And you know what? This is a good question too. This is from Angie, and she always comes up with intelligent questions. Makes you think. Um,
anyway,
Specifically for you, Neema,
okay.
did you ever have a bad trip while on shrooms? And what is your most eye-opening experience on shrooms?
Wow, that's very deep. Um, I've definitely had what may be considered a bad trip, uh, just because it was like I feel like shrooms can amplify um, the energy that you keep around yourself and like anything that you're kind of subconsciously dwelling on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have unresolved feelings or you're like down on yourself, that will kind of be multiplied and just brought to the forefront, but with the intention that you need to just deal with it and get past it. So shrooms is like very therapeutic, but I think some people get in the headspace where they just can't find their way out of the bad negative thoughts or like coming to the forefront of their mind that needs to be dealt with. So I don't know. I think I've had one trip like that where it was very difficult for me to just transcend that negative energy that I myself was, indulging.
Mm-hmm.
And then the most profound, I don't want to say, I feel like it's a very cheesy thing to say, but when you're on shrooms, you just notice how everything is connected and breathing. And you realize that everyone on the planet is your friend. And yeah, so I guess that's more profound thoughts that I realized while on shrooms.
Okay. Would you recommend I try some one day?
And that was going to be one of my questions because I remember the show, I was super into dreams and super into psychedelics. And I was thinking, okay, has Melvin even tried psychedelics yet? And also, how's your dream recall?
Wait, say that last one again?
Your dream recall. Can you recall your dreams better now since 3 years ago? 4 years
Um,
ago?
okay, so I have never tried any type of psychedelic, and I can't say I'm too interested in it, unfortunately or fortunately. I mean, come on, I don't drink or anything like that either, so, it's not my calling. It's just, it's not for me. Um, I'm actually thinking what I would be like on shrooms. And you probably won't remember this, but when I was thinking about having you on as permanently, I remember I was scrolling through your Twitter thingy-majigger, and you mentioned something about snails, and like, oh my gosh, people forget about the snails and stuff. And it's like, what the heck?
That
Yeah,
is what I'm saying. We're all connected. We're all part of, this earth. You forget about the snails.
yeah. So that's actually one of the things where I was like, I gotta get this chick on. But yeah, psychedelics are not for me. I doubt I would ever try any unless I'm on my deathbed. It's like, what the heck? Why not? I'll just party it up since I'm about to fork over anyway. So, but as of right now, no, I don't have an interest in it. Now, um, with Dream Recall, that is a yes. and a no. I would say this. It is much better, but the problem is when you're starting from zero, even 5% is much better. So we're at about a 5 out
Right.
of 100 at the moment. So it is better, way better than what it was, because before it was just fall asleep, wake up, fall asleep, wake up.
Yeah.
So now it's fall asleep, wake up, fall asleep, wake up. But maybe on the fourth day of the week, like, hey, I remember a toe. So, it. Well, no, I'm
Right.
serious. It is better though. Honestly, it is better. I'm joking around and everything, but I have had some interesting dreams. One I will definitely not share, but I have had some interesting ones, and now that I'm trying to recall them, I actually can't, which is rather funny. It's like, well, you're on the spot
Huh.
now. So, oh well, it is what it is. But the dream recall has gotten better, so I am appreciative of that. Are you religious? That's a question for both of us. Are we religious?
No.
Be more specific. We have to kill time.
I'm so one of those people that's like, I'm spiritual. I'm not religious.
What makes you spiritual?
Um, I that's a really good question. I just feel like when people say religious, I think it's follow one faith
Hmm.
and you zero in on it and you believe, go to church and do your thing and read whatever book that you support. And that's kind of the one faith that you follow throughout life.
Hmm.
And I'm definitely more of a person that's like, I know there's a bigger picture. I recognize in a lot of different faith. I don't know how to say that in plural, but you know what I mean. And I don't commit to one ideology. So,
All right, so
you
you're a
know,
gumbo, a mix of everything.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay. As for me, I am definitely not religious. In fact, I started to resent certain religious beliefs, which I know I shouldn't, and I understand that we go towards what makes us comfortable, what connects with us, but at the same time, you have to recognize certain pitfalls and certain violence and just contradictions of things that it's just not right. And I mean, I'm pretty sure people know what I'm getting at without having to say names, but it's just not right. And when you preach one thing but do another, it's just a slap in the face. So, I'm not religious. I suppose you could say I'm spiritual, but then saying that, I don't really know what it means to be spiritual. At one
Mm-hmm.
point, this was back in high school. I oh boy, this was freshman year actually. This was before I left traditional high school. But anyway, at one point though, I used to say I'm a Melkinist. And of course, people are like, what the heck's a
Oh, wow.
Melkinist? Yeah, Melkinist is the belief of I am God and everyone else is my servant. So get away from, just something crazy and stupid, just to keep people away. But no, I'm serious. If someone asks, what religion do you follow? Are you religious? I would say, I'm a Melkinist. But but now I can say that I am a believer in many different things, and I'm also a believer that there are many different paths, but the end is still the same. It's just getting there that's different. And unfortunately or fortunately, because these paths are so different, it shapes us and it gives us a unique perception on things, but at the same time, it also divides us because we struggle trying to accept one another, trying to accept something that is different than what we know. And I don't know why that's so difficult. So that's actually part of the reason why I stopped, or I don't have a religious background. I don't follow anything. I'm not atheist or anything like that, but I don't want to exclude someone's ideals because they're different and they just don't match up. Mind you, and you know this, Neema, I am quick to call someone an idiot, but
Mm-hmm.
but most of the time I don't really mean that. It's just something that happens. Um, but yeah, so I'm not religious, and I just went on a huge spiel, and I don't even know if anyone got that or not, but I did, so that's good enough for me. Okay, so now here's a Bonnie question, which is awesome. Hi, Bonnie. So, what would scare you both the very, very most if you came in contact with it? Alien, spirit, demon, angel, cryptid, spiders, etc. What would scare you the most?
uh,
Your cat screaming, that's scaring me the most.
um, I think personally it would be a demon just because I have this like pre-ingrained in me that, it's bad. So, and I think just talking to Melvin and like kind of seeing where Bonnie's at, I'm like, maybe I should, not think so negatively in that regard and kind of just expand my mind a little bit on. I think I listened to a podcast with Bonnie and someone else. I think she was a
Oh,
demoninator or
Brooke.
whatever.
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah, so I listened to that podcast and I was like, oh, maybe I just have this total pre-ingrained representation of demons, and I just need to really change the way I see it.
Well,
Um, so yeah, but I would say, before now that I'm coming to, thinking a different way, but before definitely like that would be somewhat frightening for me.
okay. I thought you were gonna say Black Eyed Kids, but okay.
Eh, you know,
Oh yeah, like no,
what
I
is
could just
what are black eyed kids considered?
um they're a mix of things. Some say they're
Family even?
like it's weird because they have a little bit of alien lore and vampire lore mixed up with them. So you,
Okay.
you pick one. Um Now the with the demon thing, and I'll answer that question in a second. But with the demon thing, every good story has to have a hero and a villain, whether it be a comedy, drama, whatever. There's always a hero, there's always a villain. And if there isn't a villain, someone is made a villain. And unfortunately, demons have become that villain, and our outlook on them, our perception is just totally topsy turvy. Not saying that we should, trust them with open arms and say, "Hey, buddy," I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that looks can be very deceiving, and we have to dig deeper into why are they portrayed as the big bad and learn this history and find out the real truth behind it. Um, and once we get that perception, once we understand that, then there would be a total change where it's like, okay, so the ideals of good and evil, I mean, it's such a human concept to begin with, but how we can't exactly apply it to things in the paranormal or supernatural field because they work differently. They're older, they're smarter, they're interdimensional, and their concept of good and evil is much different than ours. And I've used this example before, and you might remember it, but let's say there are um, let's say there are people on some volcanic island and the volcano's about to erupt. So to appease the volcano god, they sacrifice a virgin or somebody and throw them in there. Terrible way to go. But
Yeah.
would that make them evil? Or would that make them trying to live and appease something that they don't understand?
Hmm.
You know, it's almost like that with demons. Like they do the things they do for a reason. It doesn't necessarily mean they're evil. We just don't know why they do it. You know, we can try to understand. We probably never will, but you know, that's just me. And yeah. So, what scares me though?
Yeah.
Um, that's a good question because I could very easily say everything. Uh, actually, okay, so this is weird because it's not really anything paranormal that like really scares me. Like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable around certain things. You know, I don't want to be around Ouija board mess, and I rather not be around people casting spells or all that. Some psychics make me uncomfortable, you know, but not scared. What scares me are things that buzz. Bees, wasps, hornets, they scare me. I can't handle it even if it's on TV. I can't do it. I just can't. I freak out, I break down. I
Oh,
can't. That's what scares me. That
man.
that's honestly it's bees and the buzzing and I know it's the weakest answer ever, but I'm being truthful.
Okay.
Like aliens, they wipe your mind. Ghosts, I don't know. You can always, it's whatever with them. Demons, you just try to understand them and respect them. But bees, nope.
Are you allergic?
I don't know. I've never been stung.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so Teresa has a question for us, and she says, "Would you both be scared if you could not wake from a dream being chased by a demon?"
Uh, uh, um, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm quite often put in a spot where I'm dreaming or astral projecting and I get attacked or I feel like, uh, you know, so-called demons or whatever it is like trying to harm me or do something to me, and I'm always able to pull myself out. Um, yeah, that would be scary if I couldn't wake up, but I think I've just experienced enough to know that I always can get out, and that's reassuring for me.
Well, I think chase dreams in general are just scary. No, like seriously, because you're being chased, you don't know by who or what,
Yeah.
and you have that real fear. You actually feel like you're being chased, and I wonder if that comes about from an experience that you may have actually lived and you just don't recall, or if it's an upcoming experience. It may not be someone legit chasing you, but it could be a fear you have and you're trying to run away or avoid something in your life that you need to confront. Um,
Mhm.
but now, again, this for me, this is harder to answer because we go back to going from 0 to 5. Um, so it's very hard for me to answer this question, but yeah, I would be freaked out. It would scare me if I couldn't wake from a dream and I'm getting chased by a demon or something. He's blah blah blah. You know, I want your soul. You know, you hear that like, oh no.
Yeah.
but But yeah, I think that's just natural because it's something that you can't control and you're trying to get up so badly. But at the same time, you have to wonder, where does a dream like that come from? Assuming it's only a dream and it's not outside influences happening, which that would suck if so. Oh, speaking of
Right.
dreaming, my cat is actually dreaming right now. She is moving her tail and her paws and her mouth and everything. It's really cute.
Oh,
See, my cat's quiet, unlike yours.
yeah. Mine calmed down for the minute, but I'll be back at it. Um, you know what I would be scared of in a dream aspect is a recurring dream
Hmm.
that something scary or something was just messing with me, and if I just kept having a repeat of that, I think that would be really terrifying.
Yeah, yeah, that would be freaky. But then again, why are you having it?
Mm-hmm.
And Teresa also says, what if good and evil are both the same coin, and by throwing it, you go through it to learn something?
I think that's true.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think, like I was saying earlier, the human concept of good and evil is flawed, and because of that, we tend to not see the lessons that we can learn from things when it goes bad, or even if things are going really, really good. We have to find that balance. You have to experience bad things. You have to experience darker things to understand and appreciate when you get those light things, those good things that happen to you. And you need those good things to happen to help you get through the dark times and dealing with those evil things. So yeah, it's very much a balancing act that I think, yeah, we do go through for a reason to learn.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I do hope that makes sense as well. And oh, that's a good question too. Do you believe that dreams are alternate Melvin, English, what is that? Do you believe that dreams are alternative realities?
uh, I think I did think about that at one point because I feel like sometimes I dream and it's almost like a parallel universe
Mm-hmm.
or something really similar, and I'm getting a download for the day, but it seems similar or a little bit off, and then it's like it happens the next day. I don't know.
So is that your official
In
answer?
that regard, it would be
You don't know.
alternate reality, I guess.
Um, you know what? I I think from a certain point of view, they can be alternative. I'll just say alternate because for some reason alternative just
Right. This makes you think of rock music.
um yeah, I think from a certain point of view they can be viewed as alternate realities. And the reason for this is because let's say that there is a multiverse, and let's say that there there are past lives, and if we're energy and energy can't ever truly disperse, then we always carry it with us. So we're going forward, but we're also living on the side, and sometimes that energy connects. And I think when we dream, depending on the dream itself and what's happening, it might actually be us viewing something from another version of us in another universe, so to say. I know that sounds kind of weird and it's like, but I think that sometimes they are a window to different realities that we have lived in or might go to. But mostly, I think dreams can be seen as a bridge to the conscious and subconscious, where you get the answers, even though they're very confusing answers, but you get the answers to questions that you are seeking in life and that you truly need to know. Because I think that we know the answers to all our problems. It's just we have trouble accepting said answers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's mostly what dreams stem from. And then, you have those dreams where you're just freaking horny and, you might go to a horror house or something. Never had one of those though. That would be interesting.
Fantasy Island.
So, oh gosh, excuse me, sorry. That took a turn.
Is probably trying to put something out in the universe, or
No, 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 never. No, the only thing I'm putting out into the universe is bring me money right now, please. Did I ever show you my sigil?
mm-mm.
Really? I never showed you my sigil. Hold up, let's show this. You guys are in for a treat if you haven't seen it. So this is my little money sigil I made, and it's it was when I was doing some candle work and trying to get some income going. And believe it or not, that it really worked, and it is still working. And I can't explain it. I'm not gonna try to, but it's really cool. So anyway, here's my sigil. So that should be popping up right now. There it is. So Neima, if you want to see it, just tune into the stream super quick and or well, it's a delay, but it'll show up when it shows up. And Neima, do you do magic actually? We'll go into this.
Oh, is that a question from the audience?
No, that's a question for me.
Oh, sometimes I do do a little bit of sigil work on a full moon.
Okay.
I dabble, but nothing too crazy. I'm still reading the initiation to hermetics, and I think when I'm ready, I want to start practicing in that way.
Okay. I kind of just went in for it. No guts, no glory. No, it was a very simple candle spell, and um, it was a green candle. I lit it, and what's happening here? Oh, I lit it, and I would say affirmations and what I wanted the universe, or what I want to send out to the universe to send back to me, and I was burning the candle over a 20, a 10, a 5, 50-cent piece, I think a peso. So, yeah, I was making sure my message got through. And in the process, I decided, like, let's come up with some type of sigil, a money sigil, which, that took a while to come up with. And then I'm not good at drawing or putting what's in my mind out there, and I have to thank Angie K a lot because I don't think it would have gotten done without her. Like she taught me how to curve the lettering and all of that. But yeah. So anyway, there's my sigil, and uh, yeah, I claim and I obtain, and as you can see, there's a dollar sign, one of the symbols for Earth, and then of course Taurus because I am Melvin the Crimson Taurus, and um, inside of it, it's Greek, and I can't think of the words. Well, one of them is I manifest, and I can't remember the other ones. That's gonna bug me. I actually want to remember what that is because I want to try and redo things. Darn it, Niema, what does that say?
What?
Inside the Greek lettering inside the sigil.
Torah. I don't know.
What does it translate to? Darn it.
Shmoney? Just kidding. I don't know.
You know what? Let me look this up real quick because it's really gonna bug me. Like it's gonna drive me crazy. the heck does this mean? Give me a second, guys. Yes, I know we're live on air. I know this is terribly unprofessional, but hey, this is what you get with me and Neima. Yeah, let me drag you down there with me.
Yeah, definitely, because I was apparently supposed to know.
Okay, so now this is another Bonnie question, and this one's actually really funny. So I'm asking this while I'm searching for what these letters mean. I know one is manifest. All right, so Neima, if abducted, which is pretty funny, if abducted, what would you say or do to object from being taken?
Well, I mean, so the most recent experience where I felt as if I was abducted, um, where they kind of just took my astral body, I pulled out right away. So I rushed back to my body after a little bit because I felt myself like going through the window. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep my eyes closed and just wait for imagery or to see what's going on. And sure enough, like an alien, with elongated fingers was prickling my face. And it was very uncomfortable. It was almost like getting a tattoo. Like it's not unbearable, but it's just not pleasant either.
Hmm.
So after a while, I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. This isn't really entertaining. I don't know how to act, definitely like a weird experience. So I think mentally you can pull yourself out of it and go back to your body or whatever it is. Because I felt like they abducted my astral body, so my physical body was still in my room. So I was able to get out of it, if that makes sense. And then
Yeah.
I woke up in my room.
Okay. Well, oh, yes. And by the way, it means the Greek. It is I have, I bring forth, and I manifest.
Mm.
Yeah. Ha. I'm slick like that. And I actually do have a double agenda on why I am showing this off because, again, I am slick like that. Okay, so we have a couple of other questions as well. Sorry, guys, I forgot to scroll on this thing. I don't know why it doesn't automatically scroll, but that's okay. So, to answer first Bonnie's question about what would you do to object to being taken, well, unfortunately, it's not much you can do because it depends on how you're being taken. Sometimes they just not. If you're physically being taken, they knock you out. That's simple. It's like, what are you? Yeah, and it's pretty interesting the different tools they use because sometimes they flash a light in your face and you're out. Other times they'll place a hand on your head, you're out. And I know, at least from reports with Zeta Grays, they stare at you in the eyes. They kind of hypnotize you, and you have no idea what's going on. And people will report, I remember seeing those eyes, those big black eyes, and they don't know what happened. Next thing you know, they're in bed, and it's like, what? So if it's like that, not much you can do. Um, if it is more spiritual or astral and you are aware, then yeah, you can fight back. I mean, you have to have a very strong will, but at the same time, it depends on what they're trying to do. If they're only trying to communicate with you, then I mean, I suppose it'll be easier to get away. Whereas if they're like, no, this is happening, I don't think it's too much you can do to object. I mean, you can wave your fists and yell and scream, and you can say, I don't want this, don't you come back. It's not much you can do. Like, I would just kind of have to take it and just hope and just try to make a deal with them. Like, hey, make this as quick and painless as possible, and I don't want to remember any of it, and we're good to go. So
Yeah.
that that I think is the best we can do. Okay, so Angie has an awesome question because I know this is right up your alley. What conspiracies do you believe in and why?
Gosh. Oh dear. Uh, where do you even start with that one? Jeez. I guess I would just go with, the typical, um, the elite is governing the world and kind of new world order type of deal. I went through a recent rabbit hole of conspiracies on Reddit. So,
Oh, I know.
so, and Melvin had to talk me out of me thinking I had a parasite from an alien abduction. So, I just don't know where to go from here. But, and then I also went through the whole, Hollywood and they're doing, you know, rituals and sacrificing kids. And I'm just like, I'm going to go crazy. I need to get off Reddit.
Yes. Too much Reddit, bad for you.
Yeah. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but
No, you're supposed to. The question was, what conspiracies do you believe in and why?
man, I feel like I'm getting to believe the whole Hollywood scheme. Yeah, and the elite stuff, but then at the same time, I try not to dwell on it or research it too much because I just feel like I'm just gonna get sick of this world.
So, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, conspiracies for me. The JFK assassination, which it was totally government and mob, and no one will ever convince me otherwise. 9/11, I truly believe it was an inside job. Um, and a lot of people they lost their lives for no reason to go to a pointless war over oil, most likely. And it saddens me. Again, I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but that's some of it. Then it bugs me. I am not a believer in the NWO unless it's wrestling, which was awesome. And Hogan heel turn. Yeah, Neima, you're like, huh?
Yeah, like NWO, what?
NWO, the New World Order.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm not a believer in the NWO unless it has to do with WCW when Hogan turned heel and he was with Nash and Scott Hall and oh man, that was awesome. I mean, it broke my heart, but it was awesome.
Um,
Yeah, again, you're huh?
yeah, that's the main thing. I was like, so what are we talking about here?
Um, I'm trying to think what other conspiracies. Oh
Space
yeah,
program.
okay. So what?
Space program. Like
Mm,
everyone thinks that it's not a thing, but it is a thing.
no, I don't know. I'm not a believer in the secret alien agenda because for one thing it's not that much of a secret, but for those who don't know, the alien agenda is Gray's allegedly made a secret deal with was it Eisenhower at the time? Might have been Eisenhower. Anyway, they made a deal and they would take a certain amount of humans for cattle and experiment or do whatever with them as not to take the whole population and just destroy the planet, even though they were going to do it regardless. And the Greys are with the reptilians, and they are secretly replacing people and infiltrating the world governments and slowly taking over, and humanity is going to be made into slaves and all that and blah blah blah. Then we get into the Galactic Federation of Light. Like honestly, if I met an alien and they said I'm part of the Galactic Federation of Light, I would laugh so freaking hard. Like really, dude, seriously? No, I can't take that name seriously. But yeah, I'm not a believer in that, but I am a believer in some of the ancient alien theory. No, I don't think aliens built the pyramids, but I do think that they were portraying gods to our ancient ancestors. I truly do believe that. And I believe that there are aliens who walk among us in human form. And I don't know why. I guess they're on vacation, but yeah.
Hmm.
So that, yeah, you guys are getting an inside look into Melvin's mind right now. So, again, this is only because this is a special and we hit so many likes and follows. And by the way, we appreciate you guys doing that. It's super awesome and it feels really good. It's freaking awesome. So I hope that you continue to like and follow us, and be sure to, if you haven't done so yet, go to our YouTube page, Unexplained Possibilities. Hit that subscribe button. There we go. I'm so used to the other way around. But yes, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and be sure to go to all of Neima's channels and follow her as well. Hit that subscribe. Go to her Instagram. Say, hey, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, always message me like that.
You, if someone does that, you will be my hero. Just leave a message. I don't care how you do it. Just, hey.
Oh my god, you sound like the guy from one of the characters from South Park. The teacher. Oh my god.
Mr. Garrison?
Yes.
Oh, that's a new one.
No, I don't know. Maybe it's a different one.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so Teresa had another question, and this is going back into relation with the dreams and realities, and she's asking if you believe we create our own reality.
Of course. I feel like it's possible to get to the point where you are um, manifesting your reality. I don't think it's easy, but I think it's like a learnable skill. I think you can easily take control of your life and create it the way you want.
Hmm. I am actually going to take it a step further and say not only do you create a reality on this physical planet, if you're able to, of course, focus and bring things into fruition, into existence, but I think we also create the reality that we go to in the next life, or at least part of it. So it could be your version of heaven. I believe that how we live influence how we're going to live in the next life. I believe that if you are positive, if you try to be a decent person, you don't have to be the best person in the world, and no one's asking for that. You don't have to run into a burning building to save a baby. I mean, you can try, but chances are you die, but you can try. But calling 911, being concerned, and doing something instead of just standing idly by, that makes a difference, right? You're a hero in that regards. Um, so I think what we put out is captured into and molds and creates a reality that we will eventually go to. Um, so it is something, in my opinion, to trying to be positive and look at things on the bright side, because this physical body, it is only temporary, and while things aren't going smooth here, it doesn't mean in the next life it's not going to go smooth. It's just getting through it, which some people can, some people can't, unfortunately. But yeah, so I definitely do think we create our own realities, um, in many different ways.
Mhm.
So, oh man, you got me thinking. Darn it, Teresa. Not supposed to think.
Why? What?
Nah, because we're supposed to. I don't know. Ignore the man behind the curtain. Okay, Neema, this is a question from me to you.
Okay.
Do your friends know that you do this? Your friends or family?
Um, yeah. I mean, uh-huh. My sister knows, my mom knows, yeah, I mean, my roommate knows. Sometimes, yeah, I don't think I have a lot of people in my life like that, but definitely the three or four that are close to me, they all know. I think most of them just don't have an interest in it. Like I'm the only one with an interest.
Oh, so they're like, oh, don't worry, that's just my little daughter. She's being crazy with her weird friend. Ignore her.
Right. Well, my mom's religious, so
Oh gosh.
I'm frowned upon right now.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's fun.
You need Jesus.
Something like that. Well, in her regard, it's more like certain things shouldn't be dabbled with.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to the dark side.
Right.
Darn. Well, she still loves you.
Right. So
I
that's
I got lucky in that regard. My mom, she doesn't care. She's as open as can be when it comes to this type of stuff. Actually, annoyingly open to where she asks too many freaking questions.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's so refreshing. That's good.
Yeah, so, but my mom and I, we're so opposite. She's a blabbermouth, and yes, even though I blabber on air and everything, in actuality, I'm a very quiet, keep to myself person. I don't like speaking a lot.
Hmm.
I know, shocking.
Do you have wait, I don't know why I always think your friends just consist of everyone that's on the show and everything.
Well, that's the beauty of the show. I've
Mhm.
become friends with a lot of the people who have come on. I'm really blessed, but I do have people who aren't connected to unexplained in my life. My best friend, Ryan, we've known each other 20 years, maybe longer. Oh my gosh, no, 21 years now.
Wow.
And no, 20 years. 20 oh, it's 20 years going on 21. There we go. And like he knows I do the show and everything. He doesn't support it. He's like, "No." He's practicing Christian, very
Oh
very
wow.
religious. But we're like the best of buds, but we are total opposites. Like I'm tall, he's short. I played sports, he didn't.
Wow.
So it is so funny, but we're best buds.
Huh.
It's amazing. Uh-oh. I just did something. Nima, do me a favor. Start yapping.
So yeah, this is me yapping
Okay,
and
there we go. I somehow muted everything. I don't know how I did that, but we're
oh no.
we're back to normal now. But yeah, I forgot about that. Well, I didn't forget about that, but yeah, Ryan, 20 plus years. Woo, long time.
Impressive.
Okay, so what do you and Niema like and dislike about each other?
I don't think there's anything that I necessarily don't like about Melvin. um, I think it's refreshing to have someone to talk to because, like I said, all the people I know aren't into this stuff, and I'm really into this stuff. So I think just knowing Melvin and being on the podcast has made me feel way more normal. And yeah, I mean, I think he's been a great friend, and uh, experience to be on the show, you know? And have friends that actually talk about this stuff.
Okay, that was nice of you to say. I absolutely hate you.
Aw,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I dislike everything about you, so that's that. Moving on. No, in all sincereness, um, there's nothing well, no, I take it back. I dislike it when you can't make a show because it's like, God darn it, we planned this. So
yeah,
that's about it. But
okay.
other than that, like, and I mean that in a joking way. I know you're busy and you have a life. It's no big deal. Um, but what I do like about you though is you're totally opposite from what I initially thought you would be. And what that
Yeah,
means,
elaborate on that, Melvin.
yeah, what that means is I didn't think that you had such a grand interest in the paranormal, metaphysics, all of that. Like I knew you had an interest, but I didn't know it was as deep as it was. And you know, you wanting to learn more, grow your knowledge has inspired me to grow my knowledge and exercise my brain and try to learn more. And I like that you're willing to be open to listen. What is that? Wow, your cat sounded totally human there.
Yeah, he's kidding.
I like that you're open to new things, new experiences where I have trouble being open. Like I struggle with it. But, you know, from speaking with you, I try to be a little bit more open-minded to stuff and not call someone an idiot right away. Which, it's hard for me to do. Uh, whoa, I just clicked something wrong here. There we go. But yeah, it's nothing I truly dislike about you. I'm happy to have gotten to know you better and better over the years, and I look forward to continuing our relationship and hopefully when all this stupid virus mess is done, we can hang out and um, I was getting ready to say eat some burgers, but that's not very. That's maybe not eat some burgers, but hang out and go somewhere and just kick it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, this one is going to be hard for you
Oh
to
God.
answer. And the reason is because whenever it seems like we have a guest on, you're you're never, it's hard for you to make the guest shows.
Uh huh.
So, and honestly, you don't actually have to answer this anyway cuz I'm not going to truly answer it cuz it's no true way of doing it. But do you have a favorite guest?
Um. God, I was just looking at her. Uh. Yeah, it would be. I don't want to butcher her name. Jack.
Oh, Jackie.
Yeah, she was fun.
Love that. She was fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I just naturally had an interest in what she was talking about because she saw auras and stuff like that. So I thought her information was very valuable and I enjoyed it.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I I will say this. If anyone I had on the show is listening right now, they are my favorite guests.
Uh,
That's how I answer that.
that's a bad answer.
It's a darn good answer. It's a very middle ground answer and I'm sticking to it.
That's a I don't want to get in trouble answer.
Yep. So perhaps I have a favorite guest, perhaps I don't. But anyone who listens, they're my favorite guests. So way to go, guys. Do you listen to any other podcasts?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I used to listen to someone that I'm embarrassed to say now because he got Me Too'd or whatever. So he was a comedian, and it was the Congratulations podcast, and I just loved his sense of humor, but he got Me Too'd. So
Oh,
yeah, that sucks.
yeah. Darn. I listen to a couple of different shows. However, I'm shifting from mainstream to more smaller shows that I want to see succeed, and a lot of people have actually been on my show, which is awesome. So I love throwing that support their way. But I actually used to listen to the Joe Rogan podcast a lot,
Yeah, that one too.
but not so much anymore. I have some disagreements with good old Joe, and I don't.
Just curious. I want to know.
Ask me another time, and I might tell you.
Okay.
But yeah, I have some disagreements with them, and that's that. But as far as what I usually tune into regularly, um, almost everything on RU Media Network. So, Into the Abyss, Ashley Storm's show, Storming the Unknown, I think it's called. And then there's Ancestral Eyes, which is really, really good. That one is interesting because they talk about subjects I know absolutely nothing about, which is a type of religious background with, well, some of it involves um, magic work, but not really. And then they had shamans and priests. It was just really cool. I'm learning a lot from that show, and I went in completely blank, and every episode I learned something new. So, Ancestral Eyes, be sure to check that out, Neima.
Okay.
Like I quite like that one. John Jerome, Teresa. Yeah, so shout out, guys. Do you have a dream guest that you'd like to get on?
Um, no, I can't think of one. I feel like I should know one, but I don't.
Well, no, no, that's okay because I don't exactly have a dream guest. Anyone who wants to come on, they're welcome to come on if they're interesting and they have a story to tell or information to share, and they're not crazy. So made that mistake. I won't say names, but now that I think about it, actually, who it would be really cool to get on?
Oh,
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
If you don't know who that is, I'm going to pee on your car.
Oh, really? Well, it's in a garage, so good luck.
Don't think I can't get in there. Like, don't test me.
Wait,
Have you
what's
seen Ghostbusters?
yeah, when we had to review it, that's oh, the movie.
Yes,
Why? But why him?
because Dan Aykroyd is into the paranormal and he believes in ghosts. Actually, it's the reason why he came up with Ghostbusters, or the story behind it. He's had
Oh,
experiences. He's willing to talk about aliens, UFOs, different dimensions, and he's a fairly famous guy in Hollywood, which normally you don't see that, and he's still respected. That's the bigger thing.
oh,
So yeah, Dan Aykroyd. I would like to get him on. Like that would be freaking awesome. Um,
okay.
I know I wouldn't mind one of the Ghost Adventures people also. Not really Zach. Zach has too much of an ego, but Aaron Aaron Goodwin, I would love to speak to. And yeah, but for the most part though, any and everyone is welcome. And even though I was joking around with who's your favorite guest, I'm serious when I say anyone who comes on, they're my favorite guest because they're taking time out of their day to share their experiences with us, to share their story, and I very much appreciate it.
Hmm.
Now, saying that, there's another question here, and it is: have you ever spoken to someone you'll never have back on again? The answer to that is yes. Will I say who? No. But I'll drop a hint. I'll drop a hint. It was through them I met Neima.
Oh, wow.
So that's the hint. If you guys want to turn into detectives and figure it out, be my guest. You can.
Oh, no.
But yeah. So there are people, and there. I'm getting ready to put Angie on the spot here, but there's one particular guest that Angie K just despised. Like, man, I think if she could have, she would have gone like Red Army on him.
Gosh,
So
that's awful.
yeah, that's there is one person. So I won't say names. I kind of gave a hint already with him, but yeah. Whew.
What's Angie's?
What?
What is Angie's sign?
Uh, she's an Aries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the leader of the bunch, a stubborn goat
Hmm.
or ram, whichever one. Okay, so now Bonnie had a question for me, and we kind of already answered this, but I just saw it here. And she said, or asked Melvin, since doing this podcast, have you had anything you deem as unexplained? Yes. So that would be feeling all those different energies. I can't explain it. It was weird. Don't really want to have that happen again. That is just. Ugh. And okay, so this is a good one too. We're going to start wrapping it up. But for both of you, for Melvin and Neem, I'm just paraphrasing. For both of you, what would it take to investigate for you to both investigate a haunted location?
Oh, man. What would it take? I feel like I would have to be more knowledgeable and confident protecting myself and just aware of the possibilities of uh, being contacted or running into stuff.
Okay. For me, let's start bidding with the moon, and we'll go from there. So, I've said this before. It's not that I'm scared to go into a haunted location to investigate or anything. It's not that. I truly have no calling to do it. I like listening to the stories and seeing the different evidence captured, but I don't really want to go in there. It's just I don't have a reason to.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, that leads me to a question just in general. If, like, what is the purpose of, uh, just going to haunted places or like being contacted from the dead? Like, what does that lead to in a way? Can you help them? Like, can you help dissolve that energy? Can you help them cross over or whatever it's called? Like, what is the end objective?
You know what? I think that depends on the person and the spirit. I
Okay.
I mean, I can only assume and go by what I've heard, of course, but some people have said that they do it because they want to capture evidence and show that there are things beyond this physical world.
Okay.
Other people do it because they want to get answers to loved ones or of people who passed on, like they need to help them get their message across and it might help them move on. And then some are just thrill seekers. They want to experience that adrenaline, that fear, or that amazement of, oh my gosh, dude, did they want to feel that.
Wow.
And then there are some who have more nefarious things in mind, thinking that if I do this, capture something, I'll get a TV show and get famous and a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the purpose. Now, as far as the spirits, I think some of them, they they like messing with us. That simple.
Mm-hmm.
And I think others are truly trying to get a message across, or some of them are stuck. They don't know that they've passed, and they're stuck, they're lost, and they don't know what's happening.
Mm. Okay.
So, but it could be a mix of all of it. Like I would, that's something I would like to know. You know.
Yeah.
So, we'll have to catch Casper and ask him one day.
Right. Or just like, what if like a medium that actually goes to houses and like talks to the spirit that's in the house or whatever it is. Because, yeah, I'm just like, okay, if you talk to them and, do they decide they're going to stay there forever or they're going to move on and then call it a day? Curious.
And this is another question from Bonnie, final one, from her. If you had to do a paranormal investigation, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this one too much, but if you had to do a paranormal investigation, what three tools would you take with you and why?
Um, I mean, I would probably just bring my necklace, which is what I usually wear to bed, so I don't feel like I'm getting attacked or leaving my body. So I would definitely bring that, and probably like a few bracelets, just stones that make me feel safer and protected in a way.
Okay. For me, I actually probably would forget about protection, knowing me. I just know me so well, and it'll hit me later like, God darn it, should have brought this.
Oh my goodness.
Um, if I'm investigating, I would actually try to use more natural tools instead of more scientific tools, so to speak. So I would use something like dowsing rods, pendulums, and tarot cards. That's what I would bring. I think communication is more than possible through them because they all pick up on energy and it's using energy. And I think that in some ways is better than trying to use an electronic device which can pick up interference. It can be interfered with, and the interference might not come from something paranormal. It just could be it's stupid, it's electronics. They short out on you. So I that's what I would bring: dowsing rods, pendulum, tarot cards,
I'll
and
take the protection
hmm,
equipment, and then you bring the communication equipment.
yeah, that works. So And final two questions here, and then we're going to call it. So, Neima,
Mm-hmm.
this one is specifically for you. Have
Yeah.
you gotten a tarot reading from Melvin? And if you have, what would you say about it?
I think Melvin has done 2 readings for me, and they've always been really dead on. I think the most recent one that we did was really, really good and just gave me a lot of clarity. And yeah, I mean, he probably didn't know that he was so dead on, but it was really ringing true for me, for sure.
No, I had no idea because you had a freaking poker face.
Yeah, I don't let on very.
And finally, where do you guys hope to take Unexplained Possibilities?
Um, where do we see it going? I'm just waiting for Melvin to get his studio going so we can record a live show, like live. And yeah.
Um, yeah, this is probably more so a question for me. Okay,
Right.
so I actually thought about this a lot, and I think in the very foreseeable future, if Niama's okay with, even if she isn't, I'll still do it. But sorry, yeah. Um, I think I'm gonna change it from all audio to video. Only reason why it's not video now is because I have terrible internet. That's literally the only reason. And I'm hoping to diversify Unexplained Possibilities as more of a brand. So, and I think this is the first time I've ever shared this publicly, but I think what I hope to do, especially after this virus junk is over, is not only start transitioning into a video podcast and putting in more production value into some of the other little things that I do, like the Two Crazies, Two Believes, and all that. I'm actually thinking about creating a paranormal investigation team, and I would call that part of the that part of Unexplained Possibilities, Unexplained Investigates. I would certainly not be part of that team, but Niema will be, and
Don't know about that, but
and I would actually like to film little docs or whatever, something like Our Haunted Minds, something like that, and put them up on the channel or something like that in the future. Like I do want to transition to that and also transition to something where it's more magic focus, occult focused. So that's what I'm hoping to do in the foreseeable future. Whereas the main show itself, Unexplained Possibilities podcast, will evolve into video. And like Niema said, hopefully after this virus junk is done, we'll be able to just shoot yeah, shoot a show in a studio or something and joke around and have some fun. So
yeah.
so I hope that answers it. And I think that is also a good spot to end it. What about you, Nima?
Yeah. Good stuff.
So, yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining us and the questions. Like, that's freaking awesome. Very much appreciated. And thank you, Facebook, for 500 likes and follows, or whatever you call them. Thank you guys so very much. You know, it's awesome, man. Like, I never thought. Like, if I'm being totally honest, I never thought we'd get like anywhere past 50, but we're slowly getting there, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much, and Niema, thank you as well for joining me on this journey. I mean, I know you weren't here for the beginning, but gosh darn it, you're here now, and I hope you remain part of it for many years to come.
Well, thank you for including me, and thank you everyone for your wonderful questions today. I was so surprised at how many questions we got. I loved it.
And Neema, since this is the Facebook special, and I swear I will not close this out until you do this, you are gonna end the show. Yep. I'm putting you
You
on
know
the
what?
spot.
I just tried to think of it because I know you're going to ask me that. I'm like, and remember, guys, something goes bump in the night. And I'm like, I don't even know.
Well, come up with your own thing. But yeah, so she's probably going to yell at me after this is over. But yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. So because this is a special, you're ending it.
Wait, is it okay? And remember, guys, if things go bump in the night, remember
Well, no,
to
no,
tell
no.
them hi.
First say remember to follow. Don't forget to follow Unexplained Possibilities on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, etc.
Don't forget to follow and subscribe Unexplained Possibilities on Reddit, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all of that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, guys, when things go bump in the night, remember to tell them hi.
Oh dear God,
Did I butcher that?
you did something to it. I don't know if butcher's the right word. I guess I'll handle it.
Oh, gosh.
Once again, thank you guys for coming out and joining us. Thank you for all the questions. And also, don't forget to follow Unexplained Possibilities on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram.
Oh.
With all that said, remember, guys, there are things that go bump in the night. Go ahead and tell them hi. Bye, everybody.
Man, I was so close, but yet so off.
Oh, gosh, and we're done.
Why would you do that to me?
Oh, just to get a reaction.
Yikes. I was sweating so much trying to remember that.
That is funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love you. Your reactions are just legendary.
Well, I'm glad I could amuse you.
But yeah, that was fun. And I'm glad people showed up, asked questions. That was awesome. So,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe we'll do something on Facebook every blue moon.
Okay.
All right. So, do you still want your pendulum tarot card question thing done, or you're good?
Um, I mean, yeah, I do. I kind of do want it done because I think you're better at it, and I kind of got a confused answer.
Uh oh.
I wouldn't know, like when you were telling me that stuff, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of confused. I just don't really understand.
Okay. We'll see if we can get some answers. Gosh, that was awesome. Now, what deck should I use for this?
Yeah, let's just do one deck and like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I want to figure out who these beings are.
Okay, well, I think you have Greys and Arcturians, but I wouldn't worry about the Greys. It's the ones over them. They're the ones that are like, huh. Okay. Ow, just hit my elbow. Um, okay. Who do we love? Oh. Huh, I should probably. That's okay. It's not needed. Not this time. Let me turn you off.